it's me again, the Rock Doctor, coming at you live with another installment of Guitar Hack of the Week. Today we've got volume number 36, if you can believe that or not. Alright, so what was all that I just played there? Well, let me tell you. I was demonstrating one of the most iconic moves you can make in rock and blues guitar, and it was a whole step bend. And the note itself, when you bend it up, is in the key of A, becomes an A note, which is very important because that's the tonic of the key, and it also locked into the chords that were happening underneath. So let's just talk about it. Let me pull up my dry erase board to illustrate what's going on here with this iconic note I keep talking about. All right, first off, the example I played was in the key of A. And I was using the A pentatonic minor scale, the home scale I call it, in the 17th position. This guy, see it? And this iconic note, see that red dot there? That is the 20th fret on the B string inside our shape. And what we're doing there is pushing it up a whole step. That's a G note. And you push it up to become an A note, which is the tonic note, the main note in the key of A minor. There's more to it than that, but that's the note. It takes a good long, I don't know, a year or so to be able to bend that note up in tune and develop a muscle memory for it, and also be able to vibrato it. That's tough, and it takes some time. Let me keep going though. Now let's talk about what I did there. I was applying that particular note to two chord progressions from my backing track in A minor number 1. The first little section was a 2-measure section that went from A minor to F. And basically what I did was I played that A note for the first section, ba ba. I let it go for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when the second measure came in on that F, I hit it again. And the reason the A note works is because A, as it turns out, is a chord tone of F. Take a look, see up here? So A is a chord tone of F. Sure is, sure is. So that note's going to sound good. Then the second set of chords popped in, and I played the note again, and in actuality, an A note does not fit with a G, so I let it come back down at the proper time. So I went ba ba ba, basically. On the A minor to F, it was ba ba ba, 1, 2, 3, 4, ba 2, 3, and from the E minor to G, I kind of did the same thing. But I let the note come down to a G so that it was a chord tone of G. So G, the chord tones of G are G, B, or D, as you can see here. So you've got to end your licks on chord tones. So the point here with this bend is a lot of solos start with it, and a lot of solos and or licks end with it. So here's what I was doing. Look, I'm up here on the 20th fret of the B string. I'm playing out of the A pentatonic minor shape. See? And for the first chord progression there, the A minor to F, I played that A note twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I just let it ring through. Sometimes I hit it again when the F hit, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll play along with the chords again too in a sec. For the E minor and the G, I might play the same thing, but at the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I let that note turn into a G when the G chord hit. So let me turn the track back on again. The first chord is going to be A minor to F. The second part is E minor to G. In the lick. 2. Here comes A minor to E minor G. See what I mean? So the first part, A minor to F. 2, 3, 4, F, 4, 2, 3, and then E minor to G. I hit it G when the G came in. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is you really have to know, one way or another, what the chords are underneath that you're playing to. You can't just wail a lick and hope it sounds good. You've pretty much got to know what your notes are doing in relationship to the chords underneath, and it takes a while to get there. It does. Most of my friends do that intuitively, and they're not thinking about what the chords are. They're just reacting to the sound they're hearing. So, and that's what I do too, really. But in order to teach it to you, how can I teach you something like that? Just fart around until you find the right note. Well, I would rather use logic when you're learning so you can understand what you're doing. So So that first section there, A minor to F, you've got to end that little lick on a chord tone of F, and that shows the A note. Okay. I also ended up playing this over top of both chords. This lick. This is essential lick number 2. And I ended on that high A note for the A minor to F part. Then I went ahead and played it again for E minor to G, because the same lick will work, you just have to resolve it at the end. And I did this. That last note I played there was the G note, so it fit the G chord. Let me run the track again so you can see what I mean. So the first thing will be A minor to F. I'll end the lick on a bent G note, that's an A. The second time around, I'll bend it up and let it come back so that it coincides with the G. All right, here we go. Here's the A minor to F. There's the F chord, A note. G chord, G note. F chord, A note. C chord, G note. Sure seems simple, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to just, fall right on your face. So, to make this work then, what do you need to know? You need to know how to bend that lick up and get it in tune. You've got to listen to it. You've got to be able to put some vibrato on it so it sounds professional. You have to know what the chords are underneath, and so you can coordinate that bend with the proper chord, when it happens. It's a lot. It takes a while to get there, but if you're diligent and you work at this and you think about it when you're practicing, eventually you'll be able to put this on autopilot so you don't have to think, and it'll just flow out of you. But, it's a long process, so just be patient. And so think about what you're playing when you're practicing. Understand what you're playing. Don't just fumble around and hope something happens. Think about it. Use the methods that I'm talking about here. Know the chords underneath. And don't forget, most of these chord progressions, whether we're playing rock, blues, or jazz, most of these little chord patterns are little 2-measure phrases. The chords last for 2 measures. More often than not. Sometimes just 1 measure, but same difference. So most of our phrases are 2 measures long, sometimes they're 1 measure long, and then we just suture them together. All right. So I guess that's it. So, this iconic move, I call it essential lick number 1. It's just a whole step bend. It's the high note, again, on the B string inside the main shape. In this case, in A minor pentatonic, it's the 20th fret. That's the G note. You push it up to become an A. And you got to know what to do with it, because it doesn't fit everything. So just follow my instructions here and give it a shot. You have to know what you're doing. If you want to sound like you know what you're doing, you have to know what you're doing. So follow along with my stuff. I explain it as simply as I can, and to eliminate any possibility of doubt of what to do. All right. So it's me, the Rock Doctor. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, order me a pizza, find me a bass player, and I love you. I'm out of here. Bye.